everybody. Welcome. Here we go. It's that time again. Matt Connarton Unleashed. And we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in glorious downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. And we're sort of back on Facebook Live. It's not an ideal situation, but a temporary fix. But we'll come back to that. But I'm not alone, my friends.
Hello.
Jenny is here in the studio with me. Hello.
Shalom, Babala. How are ya?
I'm well. So just to address the Facebook Live situation, and we'll say hello to everybody in the chat room in a moment. So it's still being, things are still being worked on here as far as getting things back to the way they were. You know, we were meeting with Peter White of the morning show with Peter White, and he's also, of course, the program director here at WMNH. He is the lifeblood of the organization, as we say. So you know, things are still being figured out. But you know, just
tell him the truth.
Just says, what's that?
I looked at the camera and I broke it.
Oh, stop. No, I think it stopped working over the weekend. This whole thing. So
Pauly did it.
Right. Let's blame Pauly C from Retro Spectrum Radio. But yeah, so it's all still being figured out. The best way forward. So this is kind of a temporary fix for now. That's actually Jenny's phone that is in the stand.
May not hold up.
What?
It's
what do you mean?
old. My battery is old. I don't know how long it will last.
That's
and for
true.
those listening, I cannot see your comments.
Right. I can see your comments because I'm in the chat room, but Jenny cannot because her phone is over there.
In midair.
So if you are listening to the show on the Facebook Live, what I would strongly suggest is, and we're really just doing this for the chat room because everybody loves the Facebook Live chat room. I love having it there. But if you only listen to the show through the Facebook Live chat, you're just hearing raw audio going into Jenny's phone. So it's a great way to interact with the show, but a terrible way to listen. So you should be either listening, well, if you're local here in Manchester, New Hampshire, of course, you can listen on WMNH 95.3 FM. But otherwise, if you're listening online from elsewhere, or even if you're in Manchester, but you're not in your car,
or
you
maybe
can
Manchester, England.
Yes. You can stream the audio. There are audio streams available. So what we suggest you do is mute the audio on the Facebook live stream and just listen to the audio on the audio stream while you interact in the Facebook live chat. So you can go to mattconnerton.com and click listen live, and there's all your streaming options are there, of course, WMNHradio.org. Raw Talk Online, et cetera, et cetera. There are multiple ways that you can just stream the audio of the show, but don't listen to the show through the phone because through the Facebook live stream, because like I said, you're just hearing raw audio through the phone, and it probably sounds terrible. But you're able to. And you won't hear the songs if you just listen on Facebook Live or the callers or anything. But anyway, so that's the scoop. But today is Monday, March 3rd, 2021 on this Wednesday. If you would like to join the conversation, you can call us at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can also text me at 617-917-4476, tweet me at Matt Connarton, or send an email to matt@mattconnerton.com. So there's no shortage of ways to get in touch. And I do want to remind you, of course, we are proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza right across the street. And it's Wednesday, so they are open. You can get delicious gourmet pretzels, craft beer. They have wine. They have those really cool Hop Knot masks. They're only $10, and they get you 10% off your carryout order. What else is going on over there?
Well, tomorrow night they're going to be playing trivia.
Yes.
Friday night they'll have live music. They have delicious pizza. I heard the pizza was amazing. Christian told me it was really good.
Yes.
I want to go try the pizza. That's on my agenda.
Right. Is it a pizza pretzel or a pretzel pizza?
I think it's a pretzel pizza.
Right.
And then, of course, the Sunday is brunch day at the Hop Knot.
Right.
Opens up at noon. You can get mimosas in a bucket, or you can go for a Bud Light. And they have wonderful breakfast sandwiches, really good food.
Yes, yes. And they do everything very safely there. You know, the staff is masked at all times, even out back in the kitchen. The tables are nice and spread out, and they do clean and sanitize diligently and consistently. So that's one of the reasons why we're very honored and proud to have them as a sponsor. Of course, the Hop Knot right across the street from us. And I'm a little...
I see a giant. I see a giant.
There's a giant, yes. Are you in the shot? Oh, we can't tell because there's a delay.
Down, there we go. It'll show up in a minute.
All right.
He's running out the door.
Oh,
he's leaving us. Come back, Peter. Come back. All right.
The great Peter White. He is a giant man. He's about 6'10".
Giant of a man.
He has to duck when he walks in the door. It's
if he put his hand on my head, he could probably just hold my whole head.
Maybe. Yes. We try to get him to stay, but he has places to be and things to do.
He don't want to play with me. You see how he stayed one time and that was it? Won't come back.
Yeah, it only works out
familiar?
Once in a while. You know, I'll get here and he'll be doing his work because he is also, in addition to hosting the morning show, he's the program director here. And once in a while he'll still be here when I get here. I always try to get him to stay, and once in a while he's able to stay, but most of the time,
when I'm here. Oh no,
most of the time he has things to do.
With that one sitting there.
Well, but he's always here because in the corner, and you can't see it on Facebook Live right now. But we have the giant cardboard Peter Whitehead.
It follows me everywhere I go.
It was the damnedest thing Friday night during Retro Spectrum Radio with Pauly C. When It's Over by Loverboy was one of the songs that Paul included in the program, and the lips began to move on the giant cardboard Peter Whitehead. It was incredible. What are you holding up?
I am having a first world problem. One of my hearing aids just died, and I'm trying to pull out a battery.
Oh.
And I couldn't find a battery, and I was trying to show you that I did, in fact, find the battery.
Oh, very good, very good.
Because I can only half hear you now.
Ah, yes.
Tinnitus is taking over, too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Let's see. We'll say hello to everybody in the Facebook live chat. I haven't been able to do that in a few days.
That work?
Wayne Noel, who is a top fan all the way from Michigan, joins us. Hello, Wayne. Miriam Banish is in the chat room.
Miriam
says,
my nail buddy.
This is working. Yay. Well, sort of.
I thought you'd like it.
It's a makeshift temporary solution.
It was jonesing. I need my MCU.
Yes. Texas Mike is in the chat room. Hello, Texas Mike. Let's
There's
see.
a man about town.
Yes.
You gotta ask anybody about cuisine. Ask Texas Mike.
Wayne says the audio is fine.
Okay.
Well, that's good. Well,
I'm glad.
I'm glad the phone's picking us. Although I'm closer to the phone than you, so the phone probably.
I turned the volume all the way down in hopes that would lessen the ability of the phone to pick up on us in the room. I don't know if that's working though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I tried.
Yeah, Mikey says we hear Matt fine, Jenny not so much. Yeah, because
that was
you're
after
further
the fact,
away.
Though.
Oh.
That was before we were on mics, Matt. Catch up.
Oh, okay.
That was like 5 minutes ago. Jeez.
Yes. Michael Albert says, can always stream through the website and watch and chat here. Yes, exactly.
Yes, absolutely.
Please, don't listen to the show on Facebook Live. Just use it for the chat room. You can stream the audio and it'll sound much better. And you'll get to hear the callers. You won't, like if somebody calls, you won't be able to hear it through the phone. Right. So you'll want to access the audio stream. Go to mattconnarton.com. All your audio streaming options are there. I forgot to put up the poll question. We'll come back to that.
You did.
I forgot to put up the poll.
You totally... See, you blew it.
Tom Blanchard says, this is different. Yes.
I could make faces at him, and you guys can't see me.
Right.
I could even like toss stuff up. I can distract him entirely.
That's true.
But I won't do that because I'm nice.
Dan Lavasser says, half fixed, getting there. Yes.
We trying. But fair warning, I'm not sure how long you will have the videos, so stay tuned.
Right. Yeah, that's true. If the battery goes dead, that's it.
Last time I looked, it had already gone down a decent amount. I'm a little surprised.
Tom says that looks like a new microphone. No, it's the same microphone. You're just seeing it from a different perspective because you're seeing it from the phone. But no, it's the same mic. Michael Albert says, "What's Q got to do with it?" Yes, that is that song that I played. What's Q got to do with it? From the great Philip Markle, a comedian who does some wonderful song parodies, and that is a personal favorite of mine. I think that's probably the 4th time I've played it on the show. The video's great
not
too,
not including the number of times you've played it at home.
You've seen the video. I have sent you the video. Yeah.
Yes, I saw the video, Maddie. Yes, I did.
Yes, I think I got a little bit of a man crush there on that Philip Markle. He's adorable. I love him.
Oh, you're trying to make a triangle.
Well, I'm just saying. I don't know. You know.
Oh boy, here we go.
Let's see. Scott Robinson is in the Facebook live chat, and Scott says, "Well, here we go."
And away we go. You got it, Scott.
Yeah.
He's probably waiting because he hasn't seen Easy. He needs his Samantha McCarthy dates. It's Wednesday. Is he coming Wednesday or Thursday this
tomorrow?
Week?
Easy G will be Skyping in tomorrow, Thursday at 4:30 p. with his entertainment report.
So it's a Thursday this week.
And I'm currently quivering with anticipation and or excitement.
I think he should have to make up his mind which day it is on Monday so we can prepare.
Well,
I listen on Tuesday, nobody. 1 week it's Wednesday, the next week it's Thursday, then he's back to Tuesday. I don't know if he's coming or going.
Well, I think part of the problem is that I think part of it is it depends on how he's feeling.
That's not what. No.
Like he's got a broken rib. He's got.
Stop it! You make me sound heartless. That's not true. His rib's all healed.
No, actually, no, because he really does message me sometimes, and he's like, "I'm not feeling well today. Can I do it tomorrow? Whatever."
Well, that's. See, I'm all like, I'm a bad person. I'm a really bad person.
Maybe he has the gonorrhea flu. I don't know.
No, I'm not getting sucked into this. You're just being all mean and stuff. He'll call on Tuesday and go, "No, I'm going to wait and do it tomorrow." He will literally call and do that.
Yeah, he has done that.
He has done that. Yeah.
Yes.
So don't give me this.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. We never know. But that's why it changes week to week. It depends on how he's feeling.
That's not the only reason why it changes week to week. Sometimes it's just because he changes his mind.
Right. He changes his mind based on how he's feeling. That's what I'm saying.
No, not based on how he's feeling. Sometimes it's just because he feels like it. I'm going to wait and do it tomorrow.
You think he's just being capricious?
If he calls in and says, "I'm waiting to do it tomorrow," when he's already on the phone and could already do it,
that's
then
true.
Yes.
Well, you know what it is. He likes to tease us.
See?
Mm-hmm.
I told you that boy was a teaser.
Mm-hmm.
I told you. I called it. You didn't want to own up.
Dan Lavasser says, "Don't let it overheat the phone. Is there any risk of the phone overheating?"
I have no idea.
If something does begin to go wrong with the phone, will it explode in my face?
I think it's close enough.
Even worse, will it explode?
Have shrapnel?
Will it explode in the face of the giant cardboard Peter Whitehead? That's a concern because that will catch on fire. It's cardboard.
Yeah, but there's a couple of microphone stands between us and them, so I think they might. But it's a kind of clear shot at you and me, so yeah, we're done. Now I want to go check my phone.
Tom Blanchard says, "Matt, I've been watching you work before the show, and you look very busy. No wonder they pay you the big bucks." That's right. I got that Howard Stern money, Tom. Absolutely. Michael Albert says, "But it is pre-delay, so we can hear Jenny and Matt curse in the studio before they get dumped." Oh, my goodness.
What?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah, but this isn't going out on 90. This isn't going out on my phone. It is not going out on the airwaves. On my phone, it's only on Facebook, and that doesn't count. So there.
Yeah.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Eric Street is asking about Peter White's height. Wait, is he 6'4" or 6'10"? I've heard both. Actually, from what I understand, he used to be about 6'10" and a half, but, we shrink as we get older, so he's down to about 6'10". Yeah. I think he's like slightly taller than Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or something.
Yeah, he's definitely basketball height.
Yes. Jackie Brown, better known as G-Girl, is in the Facebook live chat. She says, "Salute Matt from G-Girl." Well,
hey, what about
welcome
me?
to the show.
Hey, Gotta give a sister some love here.
Well, when she wrote that, she probably didn't know you were here. She can't see you.
That's true.
Because all anyone can see is me.
She can hear my dulcet tones.
And my lovely, my Matt Connarton Unleashed shirt. These will be available online soon, I promise.
I can't wait.
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of artwork in there. A lot of great people.
Oh, absolutely.
Brandon and my mom.
Stephen Light, also known as DJ Steve, says, "Good afternoon, Matt. Have a great show. Thank you very much." Let's see. Oh, Gonzo is in the Facebook live chat. Gonzo says, "The new norm." No, it is not. Now, okay, so
don't start rumors, buddy.
But now that Gonzo is in the Facebook live chat, I'm going to go, and this was not my idea. John Hopwood suggested I do this. I'm going to put up a poll question at mattconnarton.com on the Unleashed page. So if you go to mattconnarton.com and you click Listen Live, it will take you to the page. I'm going to put the poll question up right now in real time. John Hopwood asked me to do this. And the question is, and we'll need audience participation. If you want to just call the show or vote in the Facebook live chat, that's fine. We'll take some of those votes manually. But you can, but you'll be able to vote right on the website page as well. And the poll question is this: should John Hopwood take Gonzo off of the S list?
Yes. Because
John Hopwood has his own S list. And if you're a longtime listener, you're quite familiar with this concept. I'm going to put the poll question at the bottom of the page.
I have a vote.
Yeah?
I vote that Gonzo should come off of the poo-poo list.
Well, I'd like to know exactly why.
He was a poo-poo head for a little while, and now he's not. So if John's asking that, then I would say he's less poopy.
Okay. There you go. All right. Talk about something for a minute while I post this poll question.
So I think that Gonzo should come off of the S list because he's a ham, and hams make mistakes, and we all love him. So you should just take him back into the bosom of your soul and love him and cuddle him and hug him forever and keep him and call him. Oh, wait a minute. That's the wrong thing. Sorry. But I do. I that's my vote. But see, what I don't know for certain is there some underlying thing going on that's keeping him on the poo-poo list to begin with? Like, what really transpired that got him put on the list to begin with?
So your vote is yes?
My vote is yes.
Okay.
Take him off of the poo-poo list. I'm in favor of peace.
All right. So I've manually added your vote.
I want peace in the world. Kumbaya.
Actually, I'm going to leave the poll question at the top of the page. So if you go to mattconnarton.com and click Listen Live, the page that it takes you to, the poll question will be right at the top. So far we have one vote in for yes. And
a positive vote. We'll move forward.
We'll leave the question up for at least 24 hours. But
this land is your land. This land is
let's see.
You're not going to go along with me, are you?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Scott Robinson also apparently frustrated with the lack of consistency on Easy G's part. He says, right, Jenny, no consistency. Something needs to be done, like maybe a week's wages. That is true. We could garner.
That's kind of hard.
We could garner his wages. Yes,
that's an awful lot of wage, though.
Our friend Tom.
Can't we just do a written warning?
I don't know. Maybe that requires paperwork. I don't have the proper forms. Our friend Tom Gully from the Tom Gully Show is in the Facebook live chat. He says regarding the sound, it all sounds like sound to me.
Well, thank you very much, Tom Gully. Hope you're sufficiently stoned today.
Oh.
He's the Stone Green host.
Oh, yes, of course.
What do you mean, ooh?
But I'm the original Green host.
You're the original OG.
Yes.
You are the OG.
But
of
he's
Green
supposed
host.
he's supposed to.
You were the reason they had to invent them.
Tom offered to do something to see if I could get some sort of upgrade or something. He was going to lobby for me to be like Granite Green, I think.
It got turned down because I haven't seen it happen.
Oh, that's right. I haven't seen
anything. It's been an awful long time.
But I should be the Granite Green, representing the Granite
would
State.
Advocate harder for you.
I'm going to need you to advocate harder for me, Tom, if you wouldn't mind, please.
Just a little. No.
Joe Friday is in the Facebook live chat. He says, hello from Joe Friday. I have been missing you guys. Ask Gonzo if Mike liked his St. Patrick's Day gifts. Oh, I don't know anything about that. But Joe Friday, since you mentioned Gonzo, feel free to vote in our poll. It's up at mattconnerton.com if you click listen live. Should John Hopwood remove Gonzo from the S list? I would like to see them get back together and make up, you know? I think it'd be great.
I think so, too.
I mean, I don't think
They're a nice couple.
I don't think there's been a better on-screen pairing in television since Ben
and Jerry.
I was going to say the Chevy Chase show and whoever his sidekick was on that short-lived talk show.
No,
boy, that was great. I mean, they had great chemistry. Whoever that was, I'd like to see them back together.
They're a very nice couple.
I'd like to see them. Ideally, give each other a nice warm embrace, but that's actually out of the question.
That's not appropriate for the COVID era.
Because of COVID. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
We can do distance.
Yes.
Virtual hugs.
Miriam Banish says, I'm glad the chat room is back. Tom Gully admonishing you. He says, poopy head? Hey, watch the language. There could be kids around.
That's right. You heard me, Mr. Gully. I called you a stone green poopy head.
I thought you said poopy head about somebody else. No, I thought you said poopy head about Gonzo.
I did call him that, but apparently I told Tom that too. I'm not sure. I've lost track of which ones are the poopy heads at this moment and which ones are acceptable.
Gonzo says in the chat room, John misses me. I don't know if he misses you. All I know is he messaged me and he said, hey, you should do a poll.
You know what
whether
he said?
I should take him off the S list.
He said it's cheaper to keep him.
Right.
That's what it is.
Oh, Miriam Banish votes for take Gonzo off the S list.
Aha. See? She's a positive soul like I.
Yes.
She simply wants peace in the world.
Well, I will update the tally here. So that is 2 votes to take him off.
Listen to you. I think we should get
somebody else voted. So we're actually up to 3 votes. So somebody already voted on the website.
This is getting interesting.
Yes.
Could it be a slam dunk?
It could be.
Could it be that everybody wants peace? Could we have a unanimous decision? Inquiring minds want to know. I'm in a really weird mood today.
Tom Gully says, I have lobbied. It's in committee.
Oh,
it's in committee.
That sounded
huh?
a little
Great.
snotty there.
That's like people
lobbied.
say that like it's like it's the checks in the mail kind of thing.
Right,
No, it's in
right.
committee.
Yeah,
I mean, you were in government. You know how that works. It's in committee.
Oh, sure, I called him. Sure, didn't actually speak to him, but yes, I called.
Yeah,
yes, that's all that matters.
It's in
right?
committee.
It's all in the finesse of the words.
Oh.
Yes,
right. Tom Blanchard says, John, bury the hatchet. Oh, I'll have to update the poll again. That's another vote in favor of. And somebody else voted too.
Oh,
so
is it a vote pro or a con?
Pro. So we're up to 5. So,
my goodness!
So far it is 5-0.
Heading towards that unanimous.
I'm going to also share this out to the.
Are you going to vote?
No, I'm going to stay neutral.
Way to cop out there, buddy.
I'm the one who put up the poll. Do you think John Zogby votes in his own polls? I will share.
Why not? His opinion matters.
Well, it's a conflict of interest. I'm going to share the poll out to the Matt Connarton Unleashed Facebook page as well. So if you want to just access it that way, you can.
Look, I've gone like a whole half hour without my phone or more. What time is it now? How well am I doing without my phone?
4:31.
Oh, see, look, I went over 30 minutes.
I should probably tag
Gonzo?
Yes, and John
Hoppy.
Hopwood as well, so they know that
is Hoppy in the chat room?
Both know that I've put the poll up. I'll tag both John Hopwood and John Claude Hopwood.
Is he or his alter ego with us, or we're not sure yet? He has kind of his own little. He's got alter ego. Is Jean Claude Hopwood, and there is John Hopwood.
Oh yeah,
there's Hoppy.
There's many John Hopwoods.
Yes, there is. The faces of many. We could write a book on that. The many faces of Hopwood.
Tom Gully says, to be fair, I am a stone green poopy head.
That may be so.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough, sir. Wow. Let's see. We'll just check the results. Okay, so we're at 5-0 on the poll. 5 yes. No 0. Okay, very good, very good.
Will they get unanimous, or will there be a stick in the mud?
There could be a stick in the mud.
Or many.
Yes.
It could suddenly flip overnight. There'll be more.
That's right. That's right.
That was bad.
I heard Gonzo, I think it was on the morning show, I heard him explaining what happened. They had a little, I think it was on, I don't think it was on my show that he talked about it. I think he was on the morning show and with Peter White. And he said something went awry on air. John was talking about something and then wanted to do a poetry thing. And Gonzo wanted to comment on what John was just talking about, but John wanted to move on. Gonzo says, I'd really like him to unblock me, please.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, if he's going to take him off the poopy list, he has to unblock him.
That's true.
It's hand in hand there.
Stephen Light in the Facebook live chat says, take him off.
Take him off.
That's another vote.
Another
vote to remove Gonzo from the S
well
list.
Be a slam dunk.
Wow.
Who knows? Is there anyone who says no? Who says nay?
I might have to vote no just to be contrary.
You just have to, seriously.
Just to be a jerk.
Come on.
I might have to.
Don't be jerky.
I mean, the thing is, if the poll is if it's a total shutout, people are going to think it was staged.
That's not true. Sometimes people vote unanimously. It even happens in government.
I don't know.
Actually happens in Concord quite frequently.
People might think there was voter fraud. You know?
I don't like you.
I'm just saying.
Don't go there.
We're up to 7 yes and 0 for no. And I have to add Stephen Light's vote, which will put us up to 8 yes. I'm pretty sure John Hopwood is going to have to remove. Although I don't know if this is binding. This might be non-binding.
And now wait a minute. He asked, therefore he let go of the ability to make an arbitrary decision on his own, and he said, put it to the people. So when you put it to the people, and the people are unanimously saying, no, then he needs to go along because he made that promise. Otherwise, Mr. Hopwood would not be a man of his word.
Right. We have a call. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
It's Ridley.
Hey, Dave Ridley. How are you?
I've been worse.
All right. Jenny is here as well.
Hello?
Say hello to Dave Ridley there, Jenny.
Hello there, Dave Ridley, Jenny.
What's going on, Dave?
Well, have you been following this House Bill 63 at the State House?
No clue.
This is a bill that would overturn the edicts that, like prosecutions and fines and stuff like that. People who've been gotten in trouble for violating the governor's COVID orders. Oh,
right. I seem to remember this coming up before. Yeah.
So this would overturn that and annul the convictions or whatnot. So the governor made an interesting statement in opposition to this bill that I think you should hear. Apparently, he told WMUR, quote, "We can't claim to support law and order, then incentivize law-breaking and reward those who do not follow the rules," unquote. Do you see the problem in that statement?
No, what's the problem?
These are not laws.
But he said more than laws, though, didn't he? Can you read the statement one more time, Dave? Maybe I missed something.
He said, quote, we can't claim to support law and order, then incentivize law breaking, unquote. But these are not laws, these are edicts that he's just done himself.
No, fair enough. I mean, I think he's making a broader point about how, you can't put these edicts in place or these restrictions or whatever term you want to use and then say, hey, it's okay to just break them. But yeah, I mean, technically you are correct about his statement. Yes, he did say laws, and these are not laws. That is true.
Debatable.
It seems like more to me, it's more of a concern that one person can make something and then can treat it as a law than that someone would break a law.
Yeah.
I disagree. I think that, for one thing, I don't call it an edict. He did enact emergency powers, which are afforded to him through the New Hampshire State Constitution. The Executive Council has rules. Everybody has rules they follow in an emergency situation for the state. These provisions were put in place to try and save lives. Those that decided to flaunt the laws and didn't care were forewarned, knew that if they did not acquire, they knew that if they did not comply, they could lose their liquor license or fines and fees or whatever trouble that they got in, and then they did get in that exact trouble. Now you want the legislature to come in after the fact and say, well, you didn't play by the rules, even though your neighbor did, and they spent crazy money trying to take care of everything, and even though you didn't play by the rules, we're just going to wash it all away. We'll just take it away. You know, that's not right. That's not right at all. And that's at the expense of the taxpayers in New Hampshire that had to take care of the issues that these people may or may not have actually caused from their foolhardy attempt to put the almighty dollar bill above a life.
But again, you're making the same factual error that the governor did. You're referring to them as laws when they're orders from one
semantics. Man. You're playing semantics. Either way, the bill is
really
wrong. Either way, the bill is wrong.
It's the difference between a parliamentary system and a dictatorial system.
Are you taking issue more with the governor's statement or the bill itself? Are we talking about the bill itself or the governor's statement? They're two different things.
The governor's statement is the main concern here.
Okay. Semantics, again. Provisions were put in place to protect human life. People didn't want to comply, got fined. Now they got to pay up. You don't get to come in after the fact and wipe it all away. Most likely for a bunch of rich people, too, just to say it there, but I'll say it.
Because they violated a governor's order, not a law.
They violated emergency procedures that were put into place to protect the lives and welfare of the state of New Hampshire and the people within.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, it's still concerning that one person should be able. I mean, even the French Republic understood this in 1780.
Goody. Welcome to present day. We're in the 21st century now, and here in the 21st century, we have learned that protecting each other's lives actually protects a lot more of the community at large. We have learned that when people want to sacrifice other people's well-being, it's mostly the poor people, number one, who get sacrificed. Let's be truth here.
That's true.
Okay? Those are the people that get hurt. The employer who didn't want to comply put his employees at risk. What are they, nothing? Because they don't have money? Their minimum wage work? What are their lives, nothing? Their lives matter. They knew they were supposed to do the right thing. They refused to do the right thing under emergency orders. And the number one thing, the number one constitutional thing that every state governor and every president of the United States is supposed to do is protect the people. That is the number one job.
You have not contested my allegation that this is dictatorial activity.
I don't believe it is dictatorial activity. I believe that emergency powers were enacted under a proper situation in a pandemic that we haven't seen in 100 years, and we have done the very best that we can to save every single life humanly possible. You have fault with that. I think that's disgusting. I think that's immoral, and I think that it's absolutely just mind-boggling how you get stuck on these little semantical things that don't friggin' matter, number one. Number two, he had every right to use emergency powers. I don't know what you consider an emergency situation, but a pandemic we haven't seen in the world in 100 years might be one of those things.
Well, but I think Dave is coming from the perspective of he doesn't want the government doing anything about anything.
Of course, he doesn't want the government. He was against the emergency orders. He's one of those people that is. That's what this call is. This call is, I am against the emergency orders. You are against the emergency orders. I hear you. I understand that. I absolutely disagree that a bunch of people get a cakewalk away from the things that they did wrong that put other people at risk. Bottom line, people chose to put other people's lives at risk. And that is unconscionable. And how you could ever expect me, whom you've made a point of saying how much you know about me. 20 years I worked in medicine and as an emergency medical technician. If you think that I'm for a moment going to side with your almighty checkbook over a life, you're insane.
One of the things that's the problem is that people don't understand economics and that economics are lives. If you interfere with people's ability to engage in commerce, you are also endangering their lives by doing that.
See, I've made the argument throughout this pandemic, Dave. I know I've said this to you before, and I don't think we're ever going to see it the same way. But my belief is that if restrictions were not put into place, then it would have done far more damage to the economy in the long term than if restrictions were put into place, and it would have, and therefore it would have affected far more lives, because I believe, and a lot of what I've been reading online backs this up, although people don't say it enough in media, in my opinion. But if you were to allow, actually I was saying this just yesterday, in fact, if you were to allow the pandemic to just ravage the American population without taking steps to mitigate it, which I feel were absolutely necessary, you would end up with, like, let's say, for example, instead of 500,000 dead, we had, God forbid, 5 million dead. What that would do to the economy, again, if you want to take the humanitarian aspect of it out of it completely, and I'm not saying that you are, but I'm just saying if you want to and just argue the economics of it, I think that 5 million dead instead of 500,000 would have a far more devastating effect on the economy. And these industries like the bar and restaurant industry, for example, yes, they were dealt a terrible blow. And I have immense sympathy. I mean, one of our sponsors is a bar and restaurant. So I have immense sympathy for all of those people. But if you had allowed, if there were no restrictions put in place to deal with the pandemic, and you had just allowed it to go unmitigated, the bar and restaurant industry would have suffered a far worse blow over the long run, because, when you've got a lot of people getting sick and a lot of people dying, even more than there are already, people are going to stop going to bars and restaurants. You're not going to be able to keep them open anyway, because you're good luck getting your employees to show up for work when everyone around them is getting sick or dying. So my argument would be that in order to protect the economy, we had to take a short-term hit in order to ensure that the economy will be able to rebound in the long run, so that we don't end up in a situation where, this thing drags on for, decades of economic misery because we didn't deal with it. And unfortunately, and I know you and I are never going to agree on this part, and I understand that, but I think that government had a role to play here, in that if you don't impose, I mean, look, extraordinary times call for extraordinary measures, and we've never seen anything like this in our lifetimes. But if you don't impose certain restrictions, you can't just. I appreciate the libertarian ideal that if government leaves you alone, people will do the right thing. But I think as we've seen throughout the country, in places where government has not stepped in, people have consistently done the wrong thing. If you don't tell, how badly is it working out in South Dakota? Oh, terribly right now. They have the what do they have, like the second highest rate of death per capita, or is it death or hospitalizations per capita in the country?
Both.
South Dakota was doing really well in the beginning. Now they're doing horribly,
because now it's catching up on them.
And Sweden.
And Sweden is in trouble right now. Go look.
Yeah,
the Netherlands are in trouble right now. One of my friends who lives over there, they have in their area, there's only like 3 clinics that have been opened up for vaccinations. They've barely gotten 500 people done in his particular town, barely. And the UK has actually done a little better at that.
Yeah. So if they're doing badly, then that indicates that masks and social distancing and things like that work.
We know this.
Right.
Masks and social distancing do work.
Well, wait.
But the vaccine is to prevent more death.
No, but this is something. Let's just clarify, because Dave is a masker. Dave,
I know he's a masker.
Dave has never made the argument that we shouldn't be doing those things. I think Dave, tell me if I have this right. You object to the government telling people they have to do these things, right? You advocate for you advocate for individuals.
I'm against the expense, the government expense. You have to make an ends justifies the means argument in order to justify taxpayer expense.
What expense are you talking about?
So if the government spends money locking people up and issuing edicts and so forth, that's your money they took away from you to allegedly use for a better purpose than you would put it to.
Okay, but why are
it's an ends justifies the means argument.
Why are you using hypothetical when we're dealing with reality right now?
Nobody's getting locked up for anything.
Exactly. Nobody's getting locked up.
It's not
we're talking about fines.
Fine people.
It doesn't cost. How much money does it cost to fine people to run a bill through?
Well,
average bill's about $1,000 from what I remember.
There's a court process that costs tax dollars.
What? Oh, Larry, seriously? So wait a minute. Let me see if I understand this. What you're saying is that if that person did something, they got fined, and if they because they could potentially go to court to try and fight it, we should fine people. We should just not fine people. Is that what you're saying?
Not for victimless crimes.
And here we go with the victimless crimes.
Yeah, see, I think that's where we have a philosophical disagreement, because to me it's not when
how is it victimless when people are dying?
Yeah, when businesses are told we have to take certain steps to protect people. To me, that's no different than if a restaurant, for example, is violating health codes, like not serving people rotten food and things like that. If a restaurant is saying, yeah, come on, everybody, come on in, pack the place, no masks, no social distancing, that's putting people in peril. That's not victimless.
And not only that, but the employees the employees who are making very little money are the ones that get hurt the most. They're forced into that situation when you're not complying. Employee safety is something that we've actually have to do.
If I may, the guy standing within 6 feet of his girlfriend, that was a victimless crime, and that got people in trouble.
What are you talking about?
Well, tell us. So
that happened in Lincoln at a tavern. There was an issue with a guy standing too close to his girlfriend.
Oh, well,
I'd like to read the whole story, though.
I would too.
Yeah, I mean, just Google it. It was on YouTube. He was performing, in the government lost its mind because the guy was performing, too close to his girlfriend.
Performing.
He was a okay. So he was an indoor musical performer who apparently, am I getting this right? He walked over while singing to his girlfriend. Is that what you're saying?
No, got too close to his girlfriend while he was singing.
You're the performer. You're supposed to stay where you're supposed to stay. You're not supposed to wander around.
Yeah, okay, all right. So you're making an argument a person should stay away from their girlfriend. I mean, that's...
Hey, you know what? No, I'm making the argument that you should protect...
I'm making the argument that that's a victimless crime.
Goody for you.
There may be... Well, I would like to know the whole story. Now, there may be... I mean, in this example that Dave has brought to us, this may be an example of something where... Dave may be right about this one.
If she's like right there and he's next to where he's performing, that's fine. I would agree with you on that.
There may be. I mean, I think we could probably all agree there may be individual cases where.
Yes, that's one case. Yes.
Yeah, where someone was fined or got in trouble when they shouldn't have, because we can all agree that does happen. Just generally, people get in trouble for things. Let's talk about some of these
fines. We know that one of them we saw the picture of. Remember they took the picture from on top of the stairs at the restaurant down the street here? And the whole room was packed with people?
Oh, I didn't see the picture, but...
That's what we're talking about here. Those are the fines that went out. People who were...
Yeah.
Who were doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I hope I've made my point. The difference between law and edict is the difference between New Hampshire and Napoleon.
Interesting perspective there.
I understand your point. I don't agree in this case, Dave, but I do understand what you're saying.
Good luck with all those conspiracy theories.
I appreciate both of you hearing me out.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, thank you.
Absolutely.
Next time you might even try listening.
Oh, he listened.
He did not.
I listened to your show last week.
No, I mean listen before you call in, so you know what the heck we're talking about.
Oh, it's fine.
I did that last time.
No. Okay, once. Try and do it more often, and I'll have more respect for you.
It won't happen every time, but it will happen.
All right, Dave.
That I can take.
We appreciate it. All right.
Very much received.
All right, Dave Ridley. Thank you
Carry
for
on,
thank
carry
you.
on.
Oh, give the Ridley Report a plug before you go.
RidleyReport.com. I ambush interview politicians.
All right, Dave. Thank you for the call. Be safe. Oh, all right. Anyway, well, that was that one a little better than the last time he called.
A little bit.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah. And it's and to be fair, I mean, Dave takes, he does. I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea about Dave. He takes COVID seriously in the sense that he wears a mask.
He takes it semi-seriously.
He socially distances and all of that. And he does, as an individual, believe in the science. His problem is he doesn't like the government. He believes essentially that anything the government does is force.
And in a perfect world, people would do the right thing and we wouldn't need that. But unfortunately, that's not what happens. And the people who always get hurt when the rules are not set up to keep people safe are going to be the employees, the janitor. Those are the people that get hurt. It's not, it comes from a very real, very important place. We have workplace safety for a reason. Yeah. We have rules for a reason to protect customers, to protect people, to protect everybody.
Yeah.
But, if you sit there and you allow people to, make whatever money they're going to make, flaunt the rules, everybody else might be complying with, and then their employees pay the price for it. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do when you're making minimum wage? Go, I'm not going to come to work unless you make the right protocols. They'll fire you and pick up somebody else. Nobody does that. Nobody who makes a wage punching a clock does that. Ever.
Right.
It's just, it's just mind-boggling to me that people seem to be so happy with standing. Not that I don't, and I care about business owners, obviously. I mean, we're not sponsors and everybody. Yeah. But it's not just them. There are great business owners out there, but there's really bad ones. Really bad ones. And if you don't have the rule, they will push it. They will do it. And somebody will get hurt or worse. I mean, geez, I think today there was a story earlier about an employee or something getting crushed in like Boston area or something like that. There was somebody, and then there was a story a couple of days ago with something like that. I mean, workplace safety is a big deal. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like, you have to have, and again, it's very it's very unlibertarian of me, but, you have to have things like OSHA and whatnot, because otherwise, I mean, that's why we have unions, because you can't,
you should be free to join or not join. So I'll say that now.
It's, when I spent a lot of time with libertarians, it was this thing over and over about, and I kind of brought this up with Dave on the line, this idea that all these government regulations do so much more harm than good, and that if you just got government out of the way, people would do the right thing. But it's such a Pollyanna fantasy. No, people will not. They just won't.
No.
They will cut corners. And I saw once on Joe Rogan's podcast, he was talking with Dave Rubin, and Dave Rubin's kind of a dunce, but Dave Rubin's become very libertarian, and he was talking about how building codes are dumb because, you shouldn't have to have the government telling you that the outlet has to be exactly this far away from whatever and whatnot. And Rogan just totally schools him. And he's just like, look, man, of course he goes, these contractors, they'll cut whatever corners they can to save a buck. He says, this is why you have in third world countries where there are no rules, you have schoolhouses collapsing and killing all the children and teachers inside. Because when government doesn't make you do things to keep everyone safe, people just won't keep everyone safe.
And then look what's happened. Just present day. Here we are today in the COVID era. We had, Trump was all about no government policy coming from there. Leave it to the states. Leave it to the states. I was a huge states' rights girl. Huge, huge, huge. And then I saw what happened with this.
We need to clarify.
And-
Wait, hold on. Before you go any further,
Wait.
you know, I have a thing about this. I always do it for myself, and I want to do it for you too. Whenever you use that phrase, states' rights, because it has a dual meaning, it's just important to clarify for people what you mean. You don't mean you used to be pro-segregation.
Oh my God, no!
Because that phrase,
oh God, no!
Because that phrase is also used
Jeez.
as code for segregation. And,
Seriously,
and
I had no idea.
Yes, so
But no.
that's not what you meant. So I just want to clarify that because
No.
whenever I talk about states' rights, I support states' rights in certain things, but I always want to clarify for everybody. I don't mean segregation.
So when I was in office, the 10th Amendment, which is that states have a right to do things separately from the federal government, which is, of course, not a bad thing, but in an instance like this, where we have massive, widespread, global disaster going on that hasn't happened in over a generation or about a generation, we did, Trump went out there and he was all about states' rights, 10th Amendment, states run how they want to do things their way. But then you see what's happening. We have states that did do masks and states that didn't do masks. We had states that shut down everything and sent everybody to the next state, and states that worked together and did same thing on one side and one side on the other. Nobody did the same thing. Florida kept the beaches open the whole friggin' spring break last year. He wouldn't do anything. I mean, the Google was calling wrestlers essential workers for heck's sake. But what I'm trying to say is that because everything was left only for the states to figure out, to make the arrangements, to make the contracts, to buy masks, to buy gloves, to make arrangements, there was no central organization. Everything has gone nuts. And that's why we have over 500,000 people dead. If we as a nation had worked together from the get-go, I know in my heart of hearts, and I know from everything that I've seen scientifically, that we would have a considerable amount of less death right now had we had gone in that direction. But we didn't. We had states bidding against states for gloves.
Yeah.
I mean, why would we get states against the state? That's insane.
Yeah.
The federal government should have been running it. But give you a really great example of how that. Here in New Hampshire, we have the New Hampshire Auto Dealers Association. They're like a central buying agency. They'll buy like a lot of the sale signs and things like that you see at dealerships. Then the dealers get it from them. Because they do this because it's economically the best decision. They buy in a larger bulk that allows it to be a little cheaper for the auto dealers. And these are things that all of the auto dealers use. So pulling it all together, they do a great job doing that, right? That's how this should have worked. It should have been the federal government. Here's how it works. I'm parsing it out to you. I got all the gloves. Here's here. Not state against state. And it just it proved to me that states left to their own devices to make their own decisions hurt each other and hurt their own citizens in the process. It didn't work.
Yeah. And now Governor Abbott in Texas and I forget the governor of Mississippi, the name of the governor of Mississippi.
Yep.
They're lifting their mask mandates.
I can't believe Texas did that when they have got a trailer farm.
I know.
Of dead bodies.
It's so bad.
That is insane.
Gotta play to that base, that anti-science COVID denier base. It's unreal. And Governor Abbott, I wonder if I think part of why he's doing it is to distract from what happened with ERCOT and the power grid in Texas.
Because nobody wants to talk about that because you have to talk about putting regulations back.
Yeah. So I think he did this to, so for people who are frustrated because, they nearly froze to death. I think this is his way of sort of placating his base by saying, hey, you might be mad at me about the power grid, but I'm still anti-science.
Well, and here's another perfect example of what we're talking about. The state of Texas deregulated all of their services. So everybody could have more competitive. The idea is that by doing that, getting government out of the way, businesses will be more competitive with each other and you, the consumer, will get a lesser price. And that's, in theory, how it's mostly been working. However, now we have an emergency. Now there's excessive power drain going on. Because there's a greater need, that system makes the price higher as the demand goes up. People got debited directly out of their accounts.
Oh, I know.
thousands of dollars for 5 days.
Yep.
5 days of electricity.
Yep.
And they got gouged right out of their checking accounts. They took the money.
Oh yeah.
So let me say this right now.
There's people who lost their life savings.
I have limits set on my bill pay system that if the bill is X number of dollars or higher, the system alerts me and I go and check it. Please, if you don't do that now, please do that with any bill. You should never let a bill go.
If you have it on auto pay.
Yeah, if you have it on. So that's what these people did, which I do that. I'm an auto pay consumer because I like my bills to be paid on time, and I don't want to sit down and have to, I use technology, 21st century. Work smarter, not harder, right? But in this situation, $10,000.
Yeah. Oh,
We're not even talking like a couple of hundred here. I mean, my worst electric bill when I tried that silly service was like $500, and I wanted to die. $500. Oh, my God, for an entire month. That was like a day or a few hours for some of these people.
But
But here's the thing. I want to point this one thing out, though. Yeah. I'm sorry, Maddie. The Texas electrical system, because they did this in law, is it is itself. It is its own little island in the nation. It is not connected in any way, shape, or form to the national grids because they did this. This is a libertarian thing that's very, very pushed. And here's an example of where it was actually achieved. And here's your end result. This is telling me yet again that did not work. The regulations are needed to prevent what just happened. I mean, I'm scared that there's people in Texas that committed suicide when they woke up and had no money. Everything just gone.
Oh,
just gone.
I'm sure. But,
if something happened like that to one of us, we'd lose our meds. We wouldn't be able to buy a medication.
Rick Perry, though, according to him, Texans would rather freeze to death than have government
not the
regulation.
Ones I saw on TV.
I think that, so I have a little bit of a different view of that. I think what Texas did in terms of getting to that where they were not on the national grid, and just kind of on their own in terms of energy production, I think it's impressive that they accomplished that, but they should have, obviously they should have done more to winterize everything, and hopefully they will have learned from this. This was an extraordinarily unique circumstance.
Their buildings aren't built for this.
Right.
You see the water coming down?
For a weather pattern and again, it's probably because of climate change, which, of course, if you're from Texas, you probably don't believe in. Obviously, their governor doesn't believe in it. But if you're someone who believes in science, like us Northerners with our fancy book learning, then you know that because of climate change, you're going to see more extreme weather, and you're going to see more probably strange things like what happened in Texas happen. There's a part of me that says it's not to give anyone there a free pass, but they should have been better prepared. But there is a part of me that says you almost can't blame them, because who could have foreseen this? Because that weather pattern, it's one thing to see a bunch of snowfall. Seems like, I don't know, every few years, you turn on the news in the winter and it's like, oh, wow, Texas got snow. Look at that. Oh, there was some accidents because they're not prepared for it. But to have this happen where they had snow and ice and then a deep freeze that hung around for days.
Oh, yeah.
They've never, not in our lifetimes, I don't know if ever in history, in recorded history, have they experienced anything like that.
Well, that's what I mean. I don't blame the people of Texas at all.
Right, but I kind of don't even necessarily blame anybody in Texas. Just
it's not a blame. It's we learned from this, now let's fix it.
Yeah, I hope they learn from it and fix it.
My thing is, let's learn from this, too, and not do that here. We've tried to do that.
Yeah.
Deregulate. We've had that bill introduced in New Hampshire a number of times to deregulate the industry, but now we see what can happen.
Yeah.
And, nobody in Texas ever thought they'd see that kind of cold. All their buildings are their pipes are bursting. Speaking of pipes, for those that were wondering why I wasn't here, we had a busted pipe. We just experienced a small number of that. Just a small little bit of that. But this is beyond anything they could have ever really prepared for, so to speak, because nobody would have thought that they needed to winterize their houses the way we do here.
Yeah. I mean,
and I get that. But I'm just saying, let's look at what happened and learn from it. Let's not repeat it.
Right.
Let's take that and go, maybe we shouldn't be deregulating the whole thing. Maybe that's not the right way to go.
But if they want to be, if they want to have their own energy and all that, hey, good for them. But geez, be smarter about it.
Exactly. Have a connection to why wouldn't you have, what I don't understand is why they didn't have a backup connection to the national grid. Like, why were they completely severed from it? Why were they not? It just, to me, it seems like common sense to have. It's like having a generator, From what I've learned, and I am far from an expert on this, but I think we've all learned more about the Texas power grid than we ever expected to. And part of what I've learned about this is apparently the reason it's been so successful is also what ended up failing them. Because the reason, part of why they've been so successful at this is the entire energy sector in Texas, which is, a combination of both fossil fuels and green energy. It's all very, very efficient in how it works. They've got it down in that regard. It is very, very efficient, but it's almost too efficient because it turns out it's so efficient that there's no backup of anything because they never thought they'd need it. Exactly.
So all energy is produced as needed.
This is a learning moment for us as a nation.
And it's actually worked well up to now.
Yes.
It worked better than the national power grid because of the efficiency.
Give them that. But again, no backup.
But here we are, yeah.
And the system itself was set up in such a way that because there was such an extreme need, they jacked the prices up on themselves by having to use so much because it was so terrible, so cold. They were having to do rolling blackouts because they couldn't produce enough to keep up with it.
Yeah.
So is the likelihood of another pandemic happening anytime soon? Who knows? We're not even out of this one. So let's learn from the things that we're learning from now, from these extreme situations, so we're better prepared in the future.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of blame. It's a matter of learning. But it's also a lesson, I think, in kind of taking the temperature down a little bit on some of these libertarian ideals because put into practice, they fail.
You made a pun. You didn't even realize it.
I did.
Taking the temperature down.
Oh, I did.
So the temperature in Texas, it dropped.
I wasn't meaning that.
Yeah.
Some poor lady I saw on TV said her apartment was 3 degrees for 3 days. An apartment, not a house, an apartment in a building.
Yeah.
Right? You think in a building you get the benefit of your neighbors, right? Oh, heck no. These guys were freezing.
Mm-hmm.
3 degrees inside their houses.
Wow.
Wasn't there a little boy that literally froze to death? Literally?
Oh, there might have been.
I think there was a story about that.
Well, we are past the top of the hour. Let's take a quick break, and we will be back. You're tuned into Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM.
What is he doing? Come on, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We are well into hour number 2, numero dos of Matt Connarton Unleashed, and we are live from the studios of WMNH 95.3 FM in downtown Manchester, New Hampshire. We are back for the first time this week on the Facebook via Facebook Live, but sort of. It's actually Jenny's phone. Yeah. Jenny is here at the news desk, and because things are still not quite fully repaired here in the studio as far as our camera system and all that is still being worked on. So this is we're getting there. So if you are watching the show on the Facebook. You can chat in the Facebook Live chat room, but I suggest streaming the audio elsewhere so that you hear all of the audio. And if you go to mattconnerton.com and click Listen Live, it'll take you to a page with not only our poll question of the day, which we'll come back to in a moment, but all of your streaming options so that you can stream the audio of the show uninterrupted, so you can actually hear the entire show, including the audio of the callers and the music and everything, in addition to us. Because if you're just watching on Facebook, the only thing that you're hearing is our voices being picked up by Jenny's phone.
Which is pretty much just you. I think my phone is too
yeah,
far away from me.
You're too far away. So yeah. So
they get your dulcet tone anyway.
Yes. So don't listen to the show on Facebook. Just use Facebook for the live chat. But you can listen. Well, of course, if you're in Manchester, you can listen on 95.3 FM.
Yes.
But otherwise, you can listen online, mattconnerton.com. And, we got Raw Talk Online and various other, and of course the show available on all the podcasting networks as well. So there you go.
What about your favorite?
What?
WMNHradio.org.
No, it's WMNHradio.org.
I have trouble with that hairball part.
It's very, no, it's org. It's very important to pronounce these things correctly. Frankly, the audience demands it.
Yeah.
We are, of course, proudly sponsored by the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street, right across the street. They are open. They have delicious gourmet pretzels. They have craft beer. They have wine. They have trivia night every Thursday night.
They also make some really good drinks over there, and they have their winter menu going on right now with all the winter drinks.
There is such a delay, by the way, on the Facebook Live feed that I just now saw the baby being waved around in front of the camera. I'm just seeing that. That must have been while I was out of the room.
No, you were here. You had your face down. I tried. You were busy, so I didn't bother you.
Oh, okay.
And Telly wanted to say hi.
Yeah,
That's Peter's baby.
Yeah, there's a several minute. That's another thing too. People, if you post something in the Facebook Live chat and I don't see it right away, that's why there is quite the delay.
I think it's like 8 minutes.
8 minutes? My
Not
God.
sure. It's like a forever part.
8 minutes. That's a long damn time. You can call us in real time live at 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You can send a text to 617-917-4476. Tweet me at Matt Connarton. Please follow me on Twitter if you don't already, and Instagram. I'm trying to remember to mention the Instagram. And, of course, you can email me, Matt at mattconnerton.com. And at mattconnerton.com, if you click Listen Live, it takes you to the page for the show. And our poll question today, should John Hopwood take Gonzo off of the S list? And by the way, yes, S is for something else that we cannot say.
It's for the poo-poos
on FM terrestrial radio. But apparently John Hopwood has his own S list, and Gonzo is on it.
Oh, what's the tally now?
It's still 8-0. So 8 people have voted, and they want Gonzo removed from the S list, and 0 have voted to keep Gonzo on the S list.
You know what that means?
What?
Even Hoppy himself didn't vote that way. I'm so proud of you.
Well, if he voted at all, Tom Goley in the chat room is accusing us of using that Dominion software for our poll.
You've been hanging out with them Bret Bart folks again, aren't you?
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Tell the truth, Tom.
Rob Dion, because I guess he was just listening to the Facebook audio, so he can't hear the callers. He says, damn, I'm going to miss Dave Ridley's call.
Yeah, you did.
He was very sad about that. He's a big fan of the Ridley.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
He waits with bated breath for him to come in and talk about something we're not talking about.
Well, you know what though? I have a surprise
you
for
do?
I have a surprise for Rob Dion. I hope he's still listening.
Not me. I'm just troubled.
Rob, I'm so sorry that you missed Dave Ridley, but we have been joined in studio.
Oh no.
Oh wait, he won't be able to hear this either if he's just listening on Facebook. Well, anyway, for everybody else, we have been joined in studio by virtual Dave Ridley.
God, I knew that was going to happen.
Saying something like that, you could, if you were like a national talk show host and you said something like that, you could have your show yanked off the air, or there could be protests at your offices or something over something like that.
Yeah, and he just rambles, just like the real Dave Ridley. He just
No.
it's ridiculous.
Hey, I have something for you if you want it. Can you hang on for a sec?
No.
Wow, virtual Dave Ridley.
I can't.
He just butts into the conversation, and he sometimes he grunts, which is very strange. I don't know.
He still never knows what's going on.
I don't understand what's. It's very.
No, okay, I'm done. I gotta go.
Maybe it's diarrhea.
I don't know. He says he has to go.
Run, you know,
yeah, that's crazy. All right, we have a call. We will grab this. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's on the line?
Yeah, it's Tony.
Tony D from the Tony D Show. What happened to the hoo-ah?
Oh, I forgot. I'm demoing my kitchen, so like.
Oh.
I don't have a kitchen right now. Till Friday.
You don't have a kitchen? That's crazy.
I do not have a kitchen. I have no cabinets. I have no sink. I have nothing. Everything's got getting replaced this weekend.
What are they just doing a big remodel?
I'm doing the big remodel.
You are. Oh, you're like one of those handy people. You probably know how to use a hammer and stuff.
Oh yeah.
He actually knows what one is.
Wow. Won't catch
my father taught me at a young age to save money. So he said, if you can do it yourself, save money.
Wow. Won't catch me doing anything like that.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
So I got some good news.
Big news. Is it big good news?
It's big news, yeah.
Okay.
So my demo got listened to by a station called 105.7 The Hawk in Jersey.
Oh.
It's a classic rock station.
Yes.
They want to bring me in for an interview for a weekend DJ spot.
Ooh,
wow,
very nice.
Awesome.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Awesome.
Yeah, they picked. I've been sending my demo out. I got like a 2-minute demo of front selling, back selling music, little snippets of talking, news articles, traffic reports. You know the whole niche.
Oh yeah.
And their program director emailed me today and was impressed by it and wanted to know if I would like to come in for an interview for a weekend DJ gig. So.
Oh, that's fantastic. Now this would be a return to FM radio for you, correct?
It would be a return for me, but it wouldn't be a Monday through Friday, and it wouldn't be reggae. So it would be actually, be like classic rock, rock stuff, like Springsteen, Bon Jovi, Motley Crue, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's right up my alley with my knowledge.
Yep.
So we're going to schedule that for next week. Go sit down. They're a little ways away from me though. It's about an hour drive, but you know what?
It's worth it.
It's worth it to sit down, spin some tunes, and front sell, back sell some stuff, talk some nonsense. And I told the guy, I said in an email, I said the Tony D stays. I said the Tony D stays. So we're not changing my name to like Rick Hammer. You know how they like try to like change your name to be on the air. They want you to. Like you're going to be called like Ricky the Hammer or something. No.
Thank you for tuning in to our Evening with Anthony.
Oh.
What happened?
Say it again. I didn't hear you.
Welcome to an Evening with Anthony.
No,
I can't hear you. You're so
was
muffled.
I too soft?
You're just you're
I'm sorry.
You're very quiet with that.
I was trying to be fun with it.
I know. You sound all NPR over there, so he can't hear you.
That's what I was trying to do.
Oh, right. No, it's a classic rock station. It's not NPR.
Yeah, I'm gonna be that guy. Come to you with those hot tracks. It's Bon Jovi with Wanted Dead or Alive.
Again.
Do something like that.
There you go. No, that's great. That's fantastic.
That is totally cool.
Would it be like every Saturday or what?
I don't know what the schedule's going to be, to be honest with you. I know that they found me on LinkedIn, and that's where like all my stuff is at. I don't know if you guys know what LinkedIn is, but it's like where you put your business portfolio.
I get
and
I get like a million notifications.
We were there when they first went up
on my phone because I have the app on my phone, and it's like 70 people looked at your profile today, and it's like, yeah, sure. But yes, very,
well, they weren't the first ones to hit me up. I've had like 120 like stations hit me up.
Really?
But they're like all across. Yeah, they're all across the country now, and like I wasn't moving. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't moving to do this.
Yeah.
I was actually very against wanting to go back on FM just because of my last stint with it. Just because of the suits. I don't like the suits. And like I'm not trying to be biased or try to be that guy, but like they're gonna know that like I have a way of doing something. I can bring listeners in, I can entertain, but like you can't change me. Like
right.
I won't curse, I won't do nothing like that on FM because I know the rules and all that. But you gotta let me just do my thing. You just
right.
gotta let me do my thing. Let me spin the tracks. Let me talk some smack. Let me get to some concerts and do a remote from a concert while show's going on or some interviews. Just let me do my thing, and you'll be happy with the product. But don't try to change me.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't try to change me because that's where my mental illness starts coming in.
Yeah.
You just got to let me do my thing. Just let me talk.
Yeah.
So, but I just wanted to ask, what kind of advice would you give me for going in on this?
Oh, you're at. Oh,
that's a great question.
Oh, advice.
That's a great question.
I think just bring that. I don't think you need much advice. I mean, just be you. Just be that enthusiastic guy that you are. That high energy, enthusiastic guy that you are.
But not like me and go too far and talk over them.
Right.
To let them do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want scandals calling my show. So we gotta make sure gotta make sure that I don't need that.
Going on FM could turn into a scandalous situation.
You don't want, you don't want Barry Charles tracking you down on the FM dial. Is what you're saying. I gotcha.
A little off kilter.
That's a little inside.
I mean, I fit the guy saw my I have like a headshot and stuff like that on my LinkedIn, and I'm all tatted up and stuff. And the guy was like, "You fit the criteria for like the whole rock era."
There you go.
And I was like, yeah. I was like, look, dude. I was like, we were going back and forth with emails, joking around. I was like, look, I'm all for it. I was like, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. If it's a weekend thing, it's a weekend thing because they got a pretty legit morning show there. And God forbid, I would never try to bring my show over there for a morning show. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I'll be off the air before you know it.
Well, you're not AM material, huh?
You would just have to you would just have to censor it. That's all. Just
tone it down about 60 shades.
Yeah. I mean, you could.
From what I get though, like Saturdays or mornings, it'll be like 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Is from what he told me, and then on Sundays it would be like an evening drive time, which would be I guess 5 to 8, 5 to 9, whatever it might be.
Oh.
Something like that. But he told me about the concert stuff, about, going to concerts on the weekends and doing live remotes and stuff from shows and stuff like that. And I'm all about that.
There you go.
That's my life, going to concerts. So, that's the good news. It was a good day today to receive that email from a local radio station that actually liked what I was doing. So
yeah, that's fantastic. Good for you, my friend. I'm very very happy to hear that. That's awesome.
Congrats.
Maybe we can start our own union.
Oh God!
Isn't there? I guess there. I feel like
there is a broadcasters union.
Yeah.
But it's through like Tower Media is like the main one that's across like the country that like owns a lot, and they do a lot of syndication. I actually think House of Hair with Dee Snider.
Yeah,
I think he was part of Tower Media, and then Greater Media is like the big one that's down here. Is like huge. It's like the Philly market, and they own like 8 stations down here, and they're a union. And,
okay.
But like all their shows, they're trash. Me personally, I think they're trash. I think all their shows are trash now. It's all commercial play. They literally check this out. Before each show now, they go, this show is strictly sponsored by sponsorships. So, all proceeds go to so-and-so show. They say that at the beginning as a disclaimer before their show begins. And like when you do a 4-hour show, usually it's broken down to like maybe 15-minute segments, half-hour segments, a break, and you do 8 minutes of commercials and then so on and so forth. They're doing 5 minutes of talking and then 10 minutes of commercials. It's horrible.
Wow.
It's horrible what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's radio is just, that's why I'm kind of FM. Oh God, radio, gotta talk about this person's store and this other. And I get that's how you get paid, but it's
yeah.
But it's I don't want to make the whole show about. You go down to this guy, you can get a Brazilian wax for $20,
But you won't be. But you won't be talking that much anyway, right? It'll be mostly.
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping I'm just spinning tunes, working the board, and doing my thing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too that I gotta ask when I go into the interview. Is am I doing my own board ops, or do you have someone that's producing and all I'm doing is just speaking behind a mic and then pushing, queuing something up and then just pushing the play button,
Yeah.
So
the way
that's
the way things are now, especially on a weekend, I bet you're doing it all yourself.
I hope because you know what, it runs a lot smoother for me when it's just me doing it because whatever mess up that I have, I mess up. Yeah, and I haven't used a Vox Pro in so long.
Yeah.
It's been years since I used Vox Pro, and they still use Vox Pro to cut and edit. And I was I forget how to use it.
Well, yeah, you'll pick that right back up. But it's funny though. I had a conversation about this with Peter White once about there was when WMNH first opened, there was talk of having somebody here with us to run the board. To kind of have that production part of it. And, and it didn't work out that way. And, there's only so much money. And, but it's kind of better, I think. I like being in control of everything that's going on during my show. I wouldn't want to have a producer. You know what I mean?
You lose the spontaneity of the things that you add in.
It's easier for you just to do it yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, it wouldn't work for me. It wouldn't work for me.
You can mix it up.
So I started the hashtag. I might not have the degree, but I have the disease. It's my new thing.
Oh, I saw that.
And,
yes.
It's starting to catch wind. I like it.
You should.
I like it.
You should remember. You should clarify for everyone what that is.
So what that stands for is that I'm trying to make a push for doctors to take more notice. By the way, Matt, I saw the thing you tagged me in last night when someone was asking about the mental health stuff.
Yeah.
So what I started is I try to figure out these little quotes, but I'm trying to make it more known to doctors to not push this stuff to the side anymore, and to make it more of an awareness and to make a push to do it. So by me saying that I might not have the degree, but I have the disease, just listen to what I have to say. I'm pretty much stating to you that I can answer some questions that you want to know about because I'm dealing with it, but I just need you to listen.
Right.
Is where I'm going with it. Like I said yesterday, I had a real good meeting with the people from that little committee that were there. And, we'll see how far it goes. I'm going to be quite honest with you. I couldn't really say much because I was on the train and there was wackos around me. But I don't think it's going to go far.
Really?
Because I'm one person.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm one person. I'm one person trying to make a push. And it's like the feeling that I got from the meeting was they were very receptive of what I was saying, what I was trying to do, and what I'm trying to make come to life. But the more and more that I kept watching the eye contact go down to their pen and pad, and then they're just sitting there twirling their pen in their fingers, it just made me think to myself, you don't care.
Oh, really?
Or the fact that you've heard this many times before and there's nothing that you can do. And I don't want to sit there and say that there's no hope for it. You just got to make a push.
Yeah.
You just got to make it. You know, you got these stupid QAnon people, these stupid radical MAGA people. I need to get people that really have legit problems to start a forum like that peacefully, and make a push for it. You got to stand outside of these offices and say we want answers. We want to be heard, because ultimately, how are you going to get this point across? I mean, I can go and sit in front of a state board or a state committee and be the only person talking about it, but these congressmen and people from the Senate or whoever it may be, these state representatives, you know, if they're not living it, they don't understand it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they don't get it. So my question is like, how do you start to make the push for mental health? I mean, obviously it's a thing in 2020, 2021. It's been a thing for many years, but it's a lot higher. It's a lot higher this year.
Mm-hmm.
But how do you make the push? How do you make your voice heard? What do you got to do? I mean, suicide rate is up.
Mm-hmm.
Mental health cases are up. You know, hospitalizations for people being institutionalized for 2 weeks is up, and an insurance can't keep up. I mean, these are all facts. These are all things that I've researched.
Yeah.
Insurance can't keep up. Insurance is actually starting to turn people away for certain medications because they don't want people to start getting like addicted to things.
Mm.
I get it. I understand it. But what do you do?
I think.
What do you do,
Jenny? You
Are
look
you
like
serious?
you look like you have a question about that. Yeah.
An insurance company should not be making the choice of what medication the patient needs. The doctor should make that choice.
Oh,
the problem.
Well, let me tell you.
The problem is insurance companies make the money
before you get into it. Let me tell you what happened. They wanted to prescribe me Klonopin, and they were strictly prescribing Klonopin for me for my insomnia, which is where 90% of my PTSD forms is at night when I can't sleep. Right, that's 90% of my problem. The insurance company called me back, denied the script, and said we want to give him the alternative to this. Put a script in for this. My doctor said, "I'm the doctor. You're the prescription people. This is what we're prescribing." They wouldn't cover it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know that they would be able to get away with that as easily here with the law change, but I could be 100% wrong on that.
Mm.
But that insurance companies are maddening when it comes to medications. There's a medication they want me on, we can't do it. It's like $500 on top of everything else.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised by that. I hate that.
Yeah, that's frustrating. But what is that?
Yeah.
You lifting weights there, buddy?
Yeah, what is that? What is that sound? You working out?
What is it? What is it? You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, what was that?
You hear me? Yeah, I'm lifting a weight.
Oh,
seriously, dude. I called it. I called it. I said, "Are you
were
weightlifting?"
Right. Yeah. I'll be damned.
It sounds interesting from
I'm
here.
lifting.
Oh.
I got my headset on and I'm lifting while I'm talking to you guys.
Wow. All right.
Multitask
well,
away.
we're helping you get pumped up. Yeah, pretty soon you're going to look like Easy. You're going to look like Easy G with the muscles.
Listen, that's my goal. I need a Manchester. Need a Manchester sleeveless shirt so I can walk around with a fanny pack and just you need a pork sandwich on the side of the street and get caught by the news people.
Oh God!
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys are terrible.
That's what I need.
Yes.
But anyway, I'm gonna go back to working out, listen to you guys, and then I'll give you an update on the interview, man. And I appreciate the advice. I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna say you must hire me because I'm gonna get you ratings.
There you go. All right, Tony D.
All right, guys. Be good.
All right. Thank you, man. Take care.
That's it.
All right. Bye-bye. I'm going to just play something quickly in honor of Tony D and his new radio adventure that he'll hopefully be embarking on.
If you've ever wondered.
Yes! Yes!
Wondered whatever became of me. I'm living on the air in Cincinnati. WKRP. Got kind of tired of packing and unpacking. Cincinnati.
There you go.
I loved that show.
I thought of that when he mentioned that, he's been talking to radio people from all over the country, but of course he doesn't want to move. He can't move. He's remodeling his kitchen.
He's up to his neck in it.
Yeah, it sounds it. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. I think our Facebook Live video is it ended again. Probably because the battery's too low.
My phone's probably dead.
Yeah,
but that's okay.
That's all right. But yes, but there is still time for you to get in with a call, 603-250-6007, 603-250-6007. You mentioned that you did see John Hopwood in the chat room. We are taking votes in our poll. Should John Hopwood take Gonzo off of the S list? Apparently, Gonzo is on John Hopwood's S list. And what a terrible calamity! You hate to see
make love, not war.
Well,
no, that didn't work for this?
Wasn't thinking of that.
The right one?
Yeah. By the way,
yes.
Oh, where did it go? Oh, yeah. Something odd, and whoops, I didn't hang up the phone. Something odd that I saw pop up on media. Well, maybe we'll come back to that because the phone is ringing. Perhaps this is someone wanting to vote in the poll. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Good evening, Matt. Pauly C, Retro Spectrum Radio.
Pauly C of Retro Spectrum Radio. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to call in before you ended your show to do a little shameless promoting, if I could.
Yes.
Hawk those wares.
That's right. I'm going to hawk my wares.
Yes.
So, this Friday night, you and I and the great Dan Randlett will be discussing the cover bands over the past 3 or 4 decades.
Cover bands?
Not cover bands. What is it? What are we doing, Matt? You know.
Super groups?
Thank you. That's what it is. Super groups.
Yes.
Not cover bands.
Right.
We've already done cover bands. So we're going to do super groups this Friday night.
Very nice. I look forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yes, and while I was doing the research on this week's show, I came across super groups that I didn't even know were super groups.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, they kind of just got together after being in other bands, and they just stayed together. And we know them as very popular bands that I had no idea were supergroups. So we're going to be covering several of those on Friday night as well.
That sounds like some fun stuff to paint, too.
Yeah,
it's very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
You mean groups like the Traveling Wilburys? That would be a super group. That would be a super group, right?
Yes. Oh, definitely.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, Jenny. Who?
The Traveling Wilburys?
Yes, they will be one of the bands that we'll be playing, but we'll be playing one of their lesser popular pop tunes that was popular back in the 80s that, you hear the end of the line and the other one, Handle Me With Care, but there's another one out there that people heard on a normal basis back then on MTV and FM radio that you just don't hear anymore. So we're going to be playing that one by the Wilburys, along with a bunch of other songs that were popular at one point by these supergroups, but you just don't hear anymore at all.
Oh, very good. Very good. Well, I look forward to that.
As do I.
Yeah.
Yes.
That'll be this Friday night, and join Matt and I and Dan Randlett as we feature an all-new episode of Retro Spectrum Radio. And Matt, if people have time to kill after your show, I'd like them to please go to youtube.com/retrospectrum online. You know what that is, Matt?
What is that, Pauly?
Is it my turn to say it?
No, it's my turn.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You're supposed to ask.
Oh, what is that, Paul?
That is the home of the Retro Spectrum.
Yes. I hope
you can.
Hope it's my turn to say it again soon. I like saying it. It's fun.
Well, we'll do it on Friday night, and it'll be your turn. Okay.
Okay. Oh, good.
He just got all excited.
I am.
Ooh.
I mean, really. I'm at about half-mast.
Absolutely. So,
Nice.
yes, do join in Friday night. And, Jenny, you're always in that room monitoring everything. You're like the room babysitter. I like that.
Oh.
No way. Come on.
Yes, absolutely.
Well,
and you never tell me that my mics are too hot. So thank you for that.
You could turn the lighting up a little bit.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'll turn the lights on and turn the mics down. How's that?
Nah, I love Retrospective Radio. I literally have Canvas waiting for Friday. And
well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. If you're being serious, thanks.
I am very
if you're not,
serious.
I appreciate it anyway.
Ask Matt. He comes home afterwards. He sees it. I always paint when you guys are on.
Yeah, she really does. She really does. Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. And we seem to be getting many downloads too, so that's good.
Yes.
So people must think they must really like us, Matt.
They really like us.
I'll be honest with you.
Really,
I love it because you guys do a really great local show here. I mean, not local, but, here, New Hampshire. I know New Hampshire. I love the music you're pulling out. A lot of times there are songs that you pull out that it's like, oh, I forgot about that. I loved that tune. And
right, and that's exactly what we're trying to do there. We're not trying to play obscure stuff. We're trying to play stuff that is obscure now, but was insanely popular back in the day.
Because we're old.
Although I do like to hear some of those deep album cuts.
Well, we are going to have a deep album cut episode, Matt. Trust me. I love deep album cuts too. And when I do that, it'll be a fun night full of movie clips and television show clips and old commercials blended in with those deep album cuts to give it a little flavor.
Should he bust out the leather? Like the leather pants,
I do have leather pants.
It's a leather pants show?
You can see pictures of me online in my leather pants.
No. I like to see your butt is cute in those pants.
I don't need to wear them.
Yes, you do more often.
That's for another
Matt,
show.
Matt, please do me a favor this Friday night. Wear leather pants. I gotta see that.
Oh, I'm gonna hold him to it.
I might have to. I might have to dry clean them first. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, that's full of it. Yeah, you're full of it.
We'll see.
It's the new Matty Bravo. He fit the leather pants.
That's right. I will give it all the consideration it deserves.
No.
All right, folks. I will let you two get back to your wonderful thing for the last few minutes you have. And by the way, the Retro Spectrum Radio Show will now have a new hashtag. It's hashtag nobody gives a rat's ass about my hashtags.
Oh, okay.
Have a good night. Bye-bye.
All right, Paul. Bye-bye. All right. The great Pauly C from Retro Spectrum Radio with Pauly C.
Giving out the love.
Yes, which you can hear every Friday night from 8 to 10 p.m. right here from the studios of WMNH 95.3. And I have the honor and privilege of being Paul's co-host on that show, along with our friend Dan Randlett. And I sit where you sit, Jenny, at the news desk, and Dan sits over there on the couch, and we have a great time. And, of course, Paul is in the captain's chair during that.
At the controls.
Yes. By the way, just something quickly. We have time to just get this in. This is from Mediaite. I saw this pop up right before we came on the air today. CPAC, CPAC happened. It says CPAC engaged in bitter behind-the-scenes feud with company that built its controversial stage.
No kidding.
Yeah, because the stage looks. We'll come back to it. Hi, welcome to Matt Connarton Unleashed. Who's this?
Hey, Matt, this is Ron. I'm going to make it real quick.
Yes.
I just want to give credit where credit is due. I missed Pauly C's show on Friday, but I caught it on Monday.
Yes.
So when you advertise it for Friday nights, remind people that they can watch it on Monday, because while I was listening to it, I said, wow, what a good show.
Nice.
And that sums it all up right there. Pauly C, you guys, you really got it together, and I can see you do your homework. So with that being said, and without further ado, you guys be good, be safe, take care.
All right, Ron, thank you for the call, my friend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, very nice. A very nice call from Ron. And Paul does put a lot of work into preparing the show, yeah.
Oh, I love the mixes he does.
So, according to Mediaite, the American Conservative Union, the organization behind the annual Conservative Political Action Conference, also known as CPAC, or I heard someone today refer to it as Trump PAC, engaged in a bitter feud with the company behind its controversial main stage, which was accused of evoking Nazi symbolism. ACU officials and the company that built the stage were at odds after Hyatt Hotels issued a statement on Sunday night condemning the stage and insisting they had no part in its design. The statement came in response to complaints from liberals on Twitter directed at the hotel chain. The social media outcry was in part inspired by claims that the event stage resembled I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, an Odal rune, O-D-A-L, Odal rune, which is a Nazi symbol, an allegation CPAC dismissed as an outrageous and slanderous conspiracy theory. Mediaite has learned this week CPAC brass, fuming over the media's coverage of the stage, threatened to cut the stage company to the media. Threatened to out the stage company to the media. According to a source familiar with the conversation, ACU officials wanted Design Foundry, the Maryland-based firm that set up the stage, to publicly come forward, take ownership of the stage, and dispel the outcry over its shape. ACU officials signed off on the stage after being presented with several other options. A source familiar with the negotiations told Mediaite one of the mock-ups obtained by Mediaite had a more circular design with red bench-style seating in the form of a semicircle behind the podium. Sources said Design Foundry was told by ACU General Counsel David Safavian and other ACU brass on a Monday afternoon call that if it didn't release a statement by 10 a.m. Tuesday copying to the stage design, ACU would release their own statement blaming the firm. Safavian, who is fresh from a pardon courtesy of President Donald Trump for a 2005 arrest, also threatened to take legal action against the stage company. Late on Tuesday night, Design Foundry issued a statement obtained by Mediaite that did take responsibility for the stage. And it goes on from there, but I don't really have time to read the statement. When reached for comment on Twitter, Safavian responded by blocking this reporter. Multiple requests for comment to CPAC Communications Director Ian Walters went unreturned. Schlapp appears unfazed by the controversy as of Tuesday afternoon. He posted a picture of himself sitting poolside. So there you go. So I don't know if you've seen the picture of the stage, but it does look like what people claim it looks like.
I'm going to have to check this out when I go home.
It really does.
I have to check this out.
I was skeptical at first, and then I looked at the picture and I looked at the rune, and I was like, oh, yikes.
Does it look like it was intentionally done that way?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Kind of. To me, it does.
Ooh.
To me, it does.
I'm going to have to check this one out.
But
you should, too. Whenever we say, you should check us out.
Yes. But we are out of time. Thank you all. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you, Pauly C., for calling in, as well as Tony D., and Dave Ridley and everybody in the Facebook live chat. We did the best we could with it, but there's things are still being worked out here as far as the Facebook. But we
killed my phone.
Yeah, the phone's out of battery.
It's all right.
So what can you do?
It's all good.
It'll all work out in the end. And don't forget our wonderful sponsor, the Hop Knot in the Brady Sullivan Plaza at 1000 Elm Street, right across the street. And if you missed any part of today's show, it'll be up in just a little bit at WMNHradio.org. Talk at y'all a little bit later. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.